welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring something pretty interesting, the role of happy accidents
Oh, yeah.
in scientific discoveries and breakthroughs.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we always think about, innovation as like this super planned out, like meticulous process. But it turns out sometimes the most groundbreaking ideas come from like the most unexpected places,
Absolutely.
like from total accidents. So to help us unpack all this, we've got two great sources today.
Awesome.
One is a piece from Medium called Innovation as a Happy Accident. And the other one is a blog post from Lions Talk Science. You familiar with that one?
Oh, yeah. Lions Talk Science. I love that blog.
Yeah, they always have some really cool insights. And their post is all about serendipity in science.
Perfect for today.
Yeah. So I guess our mission today is to kind of figure out how these like seemingly random events can spark like major breakthroughs, And then also what that even means for like how we approach problems in our own lives,
Totally, yeah. Like, how can we be more open to these happy accidents?
Exactly. Okay,
And then what do we do when they happen?
Right. Okay, so let's jump right in. The Medium article, it starts off by diving into this whole world of serendipity.
Okay.
And they define it as this really fascinating, like, blend of chance and being prepared. So, like, being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
But also having the knowledge to kind of capitalize on those unexpected events.
Makes sense. You got to be ready to seize the opportunity
Totally.
when it pops up.
And to kind of illustrate this point, they highlight a few like classic examples, the discovery of penicillin.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The invention of vulcanized rubber, and even the creation of the Post-it note.
Oh, that's a classic.
I know, right?
Those little sticky squares. Who knew they'd be so ubiquitous?
Yeah, I know. So each of these innovations, like, came from something that was unexpected, like what we might call a happy accident.
Oh, exactly.
So take vulcanized rubber, for example.
Okay.
The article talks about how Charles Goodyear was trying to make rubber more durable.
Right.
Back in the day, it was kind of like messy.
Yeah, gooey, melty.
Yeah, exactly.
Not very practical.
So he's doing all these experiments, but nothing seems to be working.
No, frustrating.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then one day, completely by accident, he drops some of his rubber concoction
Oh, no.
on his wife's hot stove.
Oh, my goodness. I bet she wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Not a good moment for Mrs. Goodyear.
Definitely not.
But that accident led to the discovery of vulcanization.
Wow.
So that process basically transforms rubber into, like, a strong, resilient material.
So, like, without that chance encounter with a hot stove, we might not have tires, footwear, all sorts of things.
All sorts of things we rely on every day.
Amazing, right?
It is. So it's incredible to think about, like, how this little mishap led to this huge innovation.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's where the Lions Talk Science blog post comes in, right?
Yes. It digs even deeper into how scientists actually take these happy accidents and turn them into actual discoveries. Like, it's not just about stumbling upon something new. It's about, like, having the knowledge and the skills to actually use it.
You got to know what you're looking at.
Exactly, yeah.
To recognize its potential.
So they make this point, like, luck obviously plays a role.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not the whole story, right?
Not at all.
And they outline these three traits that they think are, like, super important for scientists to capitalize on serendipity.
Interesting. What are those?
So the first one is knowledge.
Makes sense.
The second one is curiosity.
Ooh, I like that.
And then the last one is timing.
Timing, huh? Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So they argue that, like, all three of these are essential for transforming those unexpected moments into actual discoveries.
Okay, let's break those down a bit. First up, knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, you need a solid foundation of knowledge to even recognize when something important has happened by accident, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You got to know what you're looking at. Otherwise, it's just noise.
Exactly. So think about Alexander Fleming.
Penicillin?
Yes. Penicillin. So he wasn't just like some random guy who found mold on a petri dish.
Yeah, it wasn't just a messy lab.
No, not at all. Like, he was a brilliant bacteriologist.
Of course.
And he was already looking for solutions to, like, bacterial infections.
So he had the knowledge to understand what he was seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when he saw that mold, he knew it wasn't just a contaminant, it was like actively inhibiting
Wow.
the growth of bacteria.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so he understood the potential of like what he was seeing, you know?
Right. A potential solution to a problem that had plagued humanity for centuries.
Right.
Without that knowledge, that moldy petri dish would have just been tossed in the trash.
Yeah. So it's amazing how like knowledge can help you see potential
Oh,
in like
no.
the most unexpected places, right?
And that brings us to curiosity.
Yes, curiosity. It seems like you would need a lot of that
Definitely.
to even notice these accidents in the first place, you know?
You have to be the kind of person who asks questions,
Mm-hmm.
who looks closer when something seems off.
Yeah.
The blog post uses a great example.
Right.
Percy Spencer and the microwave oven.
Ooh, the micro. Oh, okay.
How did that come about?
Yeah, how did that happen? I mean,
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
fun.
amazing invention.
I know. I can't imagine life without it.
So Spencer was an engineer
Okay.
working with radar technology during World War II.
Oh, wow.
And he was experimenting with a device called a magnetron,
Mm-hmm.
which generates microwaves.
Okay.
One day, he's standing near this active magnetron,
Uh-oh.
and he notices that a chocolate bar in his pocket has melted.
No way.
Yeah. And this wasn't the first time people had noticed the heating effects of microwaves.
Right.
But Spencer was the first one to ask, what if we cooked with this?
Oh, wow.
Light bulb moment, right?
I know. Like, what a simple question, but
Yeah.
what a huge impact.
And it led to a revolution in the kitchen.
I know. Like, it's just a reminder to always be curious.
Absolutely. Never stop questioning the world around you.
And that brings us to the third trait, timing.
Timing, right.
So the blog post kind of emphasizes that sometimes multiple people are on the verge of a discovery at the same time.
Oh, working independently?
Yeah.
In different parts of the world, even?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like the universe is almost like nudging everyone.
Yeah, like a global brainwave.
Yeah, exactly. But only the people who are like ready and
Receptive.
prepared.
Yeah. Will actually grasp it. So it's being in the right intellectual space at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the discovery of oxygen is like a classic example of this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So in the 18th century,
Hey.
you had all these brilliant minds who were kind of independently converging on this understanding of oxygen's role
Right.
in like combustion and respiration.
Wow.
So you had Carl Wilhelm Scheele,
Okay.
Joseph Priestley,
Mm-hmm.
and Antoine Lavoisier.
Famous names?
Yeah, all doing experiments and like gathering clues around the same time.
So they were all on the cusp of a major breakthrough.
Yes, exactly. So it wasn't just about being lucky enough to like stumble on the right experiment.
Mm-hmm.
It was about being ready
Right.
to make those connections when the time was right.
Timing is everything.
So we've got knowledge, curiosity, and timing. It seems like a pretty powerful combo
Yeah, definitely.
for turning those unexpected moments into like real breakthroughs.
Absolutely.
But how do we apply this to our own lives? Like outside of,
Right. That's the big question.
yeah, like scientific labs and, you know, all that. Like
Yeah.
how does this apply to, you know, everyday life?
And that is a fantastic question and a perfect segue into our next discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we've kind of unpacked what makes a serendipitous discovery, you know, the ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
let's think about how we can actually use these principles in our own lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Because innovation, it's not just, you know, for scientists and labs.
Right, right.
It's everywhere.
It's for everyone, yeah.
And the Medium article actually encourages us to like look back at our own experiences,
Okay.
especially those that maybe didn't go exactly as planned.
Oh, interesting.
You know, those times when we might have called something a failure.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
But instead of seeing them as like setbacks,
Uh-huh.
what if we saw them as like opportunities,
Oh, okay.
like unexpected learning experiences?
So like shifting our perspective a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes, you know, the most valuable insights come from those moments where things don't go according to plan.
So instead of being like discouraged by these quote unquote failures,
Yeah.
we should embrace them
Yes. Embrace the mess.
as like potential stepping stones to something else.
Exactly. They're like trying to tell us something, you know,
Right.
if we're just willing to listen. And the article actually gives us these 3 steps
Oh, cool.
to kind of help us analyze these experiences.
Okay, so what's step 1?
Step 1, think about a recent project
Okay.
or experience
Mm-hmm.
that didn't go as planned.
Okay, got it.
It could be anything, really, like a work project, a creative thing you tried, a personal goal. You know, the important thing is to pick something where the results weren't what you hoped for at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
That's where the good stuff is hidden.
That's where the magic happens.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our failed experiment, so to speak.
Yeah.
What's next?
Step 2. Don't call it a failure.
Okay, so no negative self-talk.
Exactly.
Gotta reframe it?
Yeah, try to see it as like nature's way of showing you something new.
Okay.
Something you hadn't thought of before.
I like that. Instead of beating ourselves up about it,
Right.
we're embracing the unexpected.
Totally. Opening ourselves up to new possibilities.
Love it. Okay, so we've picked our experience, we've reframed our thinking. What's the final step?
The final step is to really dive into the details
Okay.
and ask ourselves some key questions.
Like what?
The article suggests things like, what can I learn from this? What clues might be hidden in these less than perfect results?
So it's about like really looking for those hints that might point us in a new direction.
Exactly.
It kind of reminds me of what you were saying earlier about the discovery of oxygen.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, remember how those scientists, they were all doing these experiments and gathering clues, but like they weren't always sure what they were looking for.
Right. They were piecing together a puzzle.
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes those weird pieces, the ones that don't seem to fit at first,
Yeah.
those are the ones that lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
That's so cool. It's really making me think about some of my own experiences differently now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I tend to get frustrated when things don't go as planned.
I think we all do.
But maybe I need to start seeing those moments as valuable opportunities.
Exactly. To discover something new.
Yeah, so it's about like staying open.
Yes. Open to the unexpected.
Even when things don't go the way we hoped.
Exactly. Embracing the journey that twists and turns and trusting that even those moments that feel like setbacks, they can lead us to something amazing.
I love that. This has been so insightful.
Glad to hear it.
It's amazing how these ideas of serendipity and happy accidents, like they can apply to so many parts of our lives.
Definitely not just science.
No, not at all. But before we wrap up, I'm curious about something.
Okay, what's that?
We've talked a lot about the good stuff, the benefits of, embracing the unexpected. But are there any, like, drawbacks or challenges we should be aware of?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, serendipity, it's not like a magic formula for innovation, right? You can't just like sit around and wait for happy accidents to, happen.
Exactly, yeah.
It takes a balance, of intention and openness. Like we need to cultivate those serendipitous traits we were talking about. Knowledge, curiosity, a sense of timing, and actively put ourselves out there.
So it's like that saying, chance favors the prepared mind.
Exactly. You got to have that foundation,
to
recognize an opportunity when it pops up, even if it's coming from left field.
I love that. So like the more we explore, the more we experiment. The more we like engage with the world.
Yes.
The more likely we are to bump into these serendipitous moments.
You're basically expanding your luck surface area.
I love that. Like we're casting a wider net, increasing our chances of like catching something unexpected.
Exactly.
But even then, like there's no guarantee.
Right. Not every little accident is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, some accidents are just, accidents.
But by being curious, by learning, by paying attention, we're tilting the odds in our favor.
Exactly. We're making those connections more likely.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Making those connections.
Yeah. Finding that sweet spot between like effort and being open to the unexpected.
It's a dance, You got to be intentional, but also flexible.
Okay.
You can't just wait for inspiration to strike.
Right.
But you also can't be so rigid that you miss those, those little detours that might lead to something amazing.
I think that's such a brilliant insight. It's like a reminder that sometimes the most innovative solutions come from those moments where we're like willing to step outside of our comfort zones.
Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable sometimes.
And just like embrace the unknown.
Absolutely.
So to our listener out there.
Yes.
The next time you encounter a setback. Or like something just doesn't go the way you planned.
It happens to all of us.
Remember those 3 key traits we talked about. Knowledge, curiosity, timing.
Those are your tools.
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What clues are hidden here?
And remember, innovation, it's not just for, fancy labs and scientists. It's for everyone.
It can happen anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what if, like, every failure is just an invitation,
Ooh, like that.
to look a little deeper, to ask different questions, to see things from a different perspective?
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
That's where the real breakthroughs are waiting.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Embrace the unexpected. Stay curious. You never know what you might discover.